Good morning, barely. Um, I've come to share a wicker basket, but I wanted to give a little background on my childhood. When I was born, they didn't know I was premature, and they didn't know that incubators cause eye damage, and neither side of my family had ever had problems with their eyes until they got old. So it didn't occur to them that I was almost blind. So the first 4 years of my life, they treated me as if I was slow. Um, Elevator doesn't go all the way to the top like that. And so I think that's why I was so serious and strange, I guess, just because I always did this, trying to see things. I was always like, everything had to be like this close for me to see it. So they thought I was, not right in the mind. So I'm going to unfold my reading thing here, and I've told y'all I can't read and hold the camera to see myself. So, ouch, for heaven's sakes. Don't have a pocket. Okay. All right. My glasses are caught up in my hair. Come on. Y'all know I don't edit, so whatever. All right, here we go. Sky. Read. Okay, here we go. I titled, almost nothing in the wicker basket is dated. I have no idea why. I'll show you real quick what we're looking at here. My spatial ability with the camera does not exist. I don't know where, okay, I don't know where you can see things. Anyway, irrelevant. Okay, this is, no idea when it was written. It's got the title of The Maker's Vessel. If I am not as my Creator wishes me to be, then I do not wish to be. And in turn, if my Creator is not as I need him to be, I do not wish to endure as his creation. Our Father in heaven gave us free will because it is his desire that we find him because we've chosen to seek him and will come to know him as a loving Father. And he will walk among us, and we will dwell with him in a new world, the kingdom of heaven, and his law shall be written in our hearts. One girl born with a serious nature, forced to conform and accept a world which she found cold, flat, and foolish. She was a quiet girl, and the rebellion inside was all wrapped up in a sadness and a feeling of loss for which she had no explanation. So she wrote, I sit and all around they speak of what should be, while here inside stir 1,000 truths all my own, but I never speak, I only smile. And she wrote, no one can really know me, can they, until they know what I am? Will anyone ever see the light in me and understand? Or does it really matter what is seen? And perhaps this light inside me is just a dream. But it doesn't really matter. I am partly as I seem. And perhaps this other part of me, this light is just a dream. And she wrote, how can it be a world without dreams? Unkind laughter, passing for gaiety. Can there truly be, behind that gossiping face, a window to look into the soul's place? When she turned 9, a book came into her life, The King Nobody Wanted, and there among its pages she found the dream that was missing. She filled up her loneliness and her soul with him and the miracles he wrought, and the oh so simple and fulfilling things he taught. She could not understand why she had not heard of this Son of God before, as this book described him, or why no one ever spoke of his good news at her parents' parties. Why, after Jesus told them not to worry about tomorrow, that God would care for them like the birds and the grasses, they still sat about doing exactly that, with great frown lines between their eyes and much anger over the bills, and every month it was that way. And she was a being who cringed inside in bewilderment and sorrow when there was any unpleasantness at all. And here was Jesus with the answer, the commandment to love one another. And if that wasn't enough, he was telling of the promise of eternal life and the kingdom of heaven. No, she could not understand how he could have been forgotten so easily. What in the world made these people believe more strongly in their lack than in the abundance he promised them? But as for her young self, she understood that she had a Father in heaven who loved her and offered her his Spirit to change her life. And while she was no angel, she had found no distractions in the world to take her attention from God. And she went to church, and they talked to her about how it was a sin to stand in front of a mirror and other things she just did not think her very possessive Jesus would be apt to think worth mentioning. Jesus was to her a very dear friend, one she wanted to please and never hurt. And the consciousness of him became a part of her life because she just truly loved him. And she grew up to face her father's serious illness, and somehow Jesus wasn't in her thoughts anymore. It was kind of like, well, here I am in this world, and though Jesus had healed, others had made it plain to her by now that Jesus was Jesus, and after all, the rest of us are only human, after all, and why couldn't she be realistic for Christ's sake? So somewhere deep inside, she figured that Jesus was just another story. She had certainly been all alone in her young adoration. Of course, she knew that people believed in him and all, with all due respect, but somehow they didn't take his words seriously. And it was really a crying shame. She thought because if everyone did, there would be peace on earth, and on earth as it was in heaven. That's all I'm going to share of this study today. I'm going to do the prayer face to face. Uh-oh. It's still going, but I guess y'all probably weren't seeing any pictures. Low battery, okay. God bless and keep us all who love him, and through that love serve him with all our heart, our might, and our mind. Walk in the Spirit Jesus left us, the Spirit of truth that sets men free. Glorify God as his children, which we are, co-heirs with Christ. And then knowing that he who is in us is greater than he who is in the world. Fear not, and step out in faith of the gospel and claim the promise our loving Father has made, a world without strife, beyond our imagining, and everlasting life. Have a wonder-filled day. I love you. God loves you.